Hello guys, my name is Brian and I talk figure skating. If you're here, you probably really like figure skating too. Today I am going to recap and talk about the 2023 Skate Canada competition. It was a pretty good competition overall. It wasn't maybe the best comparative to Skate America, but there were some really strong performances and definitely some people who stood out in each discipline. First, we're going to talk about the pairs. There weren't a ton of great performances. The bottom four definitely have a lot to work on. I'm mainly going to talk about the top four. Surprisingly, um, Maria Golebova and Hector Giotopoulos Moore finished in fourth place. They really had a lot of problems with their jumping elements. They really have to work on those if they want to be competitive. The finished 8th at Worlds last year, so you definitely expect to see them maybe moving up a little bit, especially with some of the other teams coming in. But if they can't hit their jumping elements, then they're definitely going to have a lot of problems moving forward. I do like the programs. I think they have a lot of potential, so I definitely want to see them continue to push to get higher. For me, the surprise was Lucrecia Bakari and Matteo Gorisi. I did not expect them to finish in the top three at all. I thought they were going to finish below the Australians and the Hungarians, and of course the Canadians, but they came out and nailed their short program. I think Matteo was like, nope, we're going to move up and we're going to show that we are the number 2 Italian team. And they really came out and nailed that short program. The long program was a little bit more inconsistent. They had some problems with some of the jumping elements and the throw elements, but and the twist. But those are things that they can work on for sure. That was also one of the problems with Golebova and Giotopoulos Moore, is their twist definitely needs some work. The Italians, though, they have really good programs, and I think that by the end of the season, they are definitely going to be challenging Conti and Macchi for that top Italian spot. The Italians are just doing such a good job working on their overall team. I think they could really see a medal in the works at the Olympics in Italy, so hopefully they can continue to grow their team. No surprise to me, second place was the Hungarian team. Pavlova and Sevchenko. They did a really good job. Short program, not so much. They are having some big issues with their death spirals. Both programs only received a level 2 on the death spiral, and then their spinning elements are also something they really need to work on. Their connection is good. I like watching them skate, and then after not having such a really good short program, they came out and nailed that long program, which I guess is what you would expect from a Russian pair. There's all these teams and skaters who have fled Russia and gone to skate for another country, and personally, I am all for it. I know a lot of other people have some differing opinions on this, but these skaters have trained their whole lives to be competitive figure skaters, and for them to miss this opportunity and miss their window is not a good thing. So any of these skaters who have the ability to go to another country and flee the Russian system and go skate, I am all for it. I think more of them need to do it if they have the ability, because there's no reason for them to just be held up and losing what they've been training their whole lives for so far. I really expect to see them finish in the top 5 at Worlds, but if they can't fix their spinning elements and their death spiral, there just really is no chance of that, because they can't be competitive with the top teams. Finally, we have the queen herself, Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps. Oh, they killed both programs. The short program was beautiful. My favorite part was in the kiss and cry, though. After, Maxime was so happy about the season's best score, and Deanna looked at that 72.25 and was like, stoic, was not even excited about it, which I was really liking to see, because that means that she is pushing herself. She wants to see them go to that next level. She wants to see them challenge the Japanese pair, which I think they can do. And then that long program, hands to God, best program I've seen in a really long time. It made me feel something. And I'm not often mesmerized by a pairs program. It takes a lot. And this program, the music, the costumes, the connection, the story, Deanna's just dedication to the character, uh, so good. And when she's up in the air and he lifts her and those positions she hits, they are stunning. There's literally not another woman in the entire field that looks like she does in the air. I just think they should be getting like +4s, +5s on every lift. And in that long, a couple of the judges actually had the nerve to give them a +2. I want to hear them defend that. Like, really, Deanna's positions are amazing. Maxime's speed is good. The ice coverage is great. So they should really be getting higher GOE. I am just so excited for World Championships in Montreal. Like, I actually think Deanna has a chance at a world title. And not to bring this up, but she is 40 years old. For her to go out and be so competitive at that age just is breaking the ceiling. And it just shows that anyone who is healthy and has good technique and works on their recovery and staying healthy can thrive even at 40 years old in figure skating. Next, we're going to talk about the women's competition. Once again, I did not have a ton to talk about. The top 5 is really kind of where I want to go. There were a couple of Americans. Star Andrews kind of just didn't really have a great performance. Audrey Shin, is okay, but her jumps definitely need some work. She doesn't rotate all the way, and I don't know, it just seems that a lot of the women, most of the ones who are skating with Tammy Gamble, just always have these problems of under rotation. I mean, Karen Chen, Audrey Shin, there's more, but it's just, I don't know. I think she needs a jump specialist or just someone in there to maybe help them. I don't know. Not sure what that is. I mean, maybe with Amber skating and having Amber Glenn having Tammy Gamble as like her assistant, side second coach, maybe Damon can like, Tammy, get a jump. I don't know, but yeah, I don't have a lot to say there. Rinka Watanabe also, you never know what she's gonna do, but this wasn't really a great performance for her. The United States, Lindsey Thorngren, I've been having so many problems with editing my videos, and I've been trying a couple of different things and having issues with saving and loading, and it's just been a mess. So my Skate Canada preview didn't come out, but one of the things I had mentioned was how much I really think this season Lindsey Thorngren is going to come out and just lay it down and show us that she really is in contention and that top upper echelon of US female skaters. She came out and it wasn't perfect. Short program was beautiful though. Beautiful. You can see a connection to the music, lyricism, just a good transitions all the way through. So I think Lindsey, if she can continue to build on this, get those jumps fully rotated, because she does have a little bit of a rotation issue, or at least she has in the past. So the caller is definitely checking every one of her jumps, and even the ones that looked pretty okay in the slow-mo, when I was watching the replays, got some calls. So she can work on that. Madeline Skizis, she basically did what Maddie Skizis does. She came out and just had a disastrous short program. Her combination got negative grade of execution. Her solo jump got negative execution. And then she just popped the axle and no points. So in the short program, she was really far behind. She only had about a little over 57 points and was in, 8th place. But that long program, she came back and she nailed the long program. She, after being in 8th place in the short, came back, laid down a long program, a personal best, even better than the Olympics a couple of years ago, where she also laid it down. So she is coming out here and showing, hey, I can do this. For her to have such a disastrous short program but then come back, it must be something in the water in Canada, because that seemed to be a common thread in the solo competitions. But we're not really talking about the men right now. We're just talking about the women. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I really, really, really love her programs. I love her connection to the music. I think she's a beautiful skater. And honestly, if she came out and skated like she did in the long program every time, I just think she'd be really hard to beat. I think that she really needs to, what I would like to see for her, because I like her so much, is for her to be on a similar trajectory to Caitlin Osman back heading into 2018. 2014, 15, 16, Caitlin wasn't the most consistent skater. And then all of a sudden something clicked. She started nailing her combinations, nailing her jumps, and getting really consistent. And because of her skating style, she just was on a rise all the way up to that Olympic bronze medal and then a world championship. And I really think that Maddie has that chance, that she could be that skater. So I would really like to see that. I'd love to see her in the final groups. She's just a beautiful skater. So once she gets her consistency, she's going to be someone that people have to look for. Rino Masuki finished in third. Okay, I'm a sucker for Moulin Rouge. I'll Fly Away just makes me think of Ashley Wagner and that magical 2015-2016 program. Oh, man, that program was one of my all-time favorites. So to see Reno come out and skate to that music, I loved it. I know it's overdone. I know a lot of people are sick of it, but not me. Moulin Rouge is a warhorse for a reason. It is just music that is easy to connect to, and I think she did a beautiful job with it. The long program, also pretty good. I think that she could work on rotation a little bit, like a lot of the women, but she's definitely solid, and it's so important that every competition, these Japanese women come out and lay it down in front of the judges, because the depth for women and men's in Japan is insane. It's like 10 people could be competing for a top 3 spot. So especially that third spot in each discipline is so up in the air. So someone like Rino Masuki could easily get that. Second place, Korea's Cheon Kim. Beautiful skater. Really no height on her jumps, but she spins so well in the air that she just hits them all. She could definitely maybe try to get a little bit more explosion so she could get higher grades of execution on the jumps, but she hit every jump. Well, okay, she didn't hit every jump, but she landed every jump, and that's very important. She had some under rotations, and she had some edge calls on the flips, but honestly, coming out, landing all your jumps, breaking 200 points, wasn't a season's best. It was in the short, but not overall, so she definitely has something to work on, but she is showing that she is definitely a top 10 skater in the world, and someone who could possibly make the Grand Prix final, depending on how things break out. Finally, we had Kaori Sakamoto, and you guys, wow. She came out and delivered. The short program was nice, 75 points. I don't love the short program, but I don't hate it. I just have a problem comparing it to last year's short program. I really think the Janet Jackson program just suited her so well and showed her personality off. So I missed that one, but I do like this short program. I really, really, really like her long program, though. That season's best of 151 points. She earned every point of it. Every point. The technical content in the second half of the program, she is going for it, you know? I mean, she laid down just an axel, a Lutz, and a Saukow in the first half, and then she said, oh yeah, triple flip, double toe, triple flip, triple toe, double axel, triple toe, double toe, oh, and a triple loop I'm gonna throw out there. And they were all perfect, like beautiful jumps. So for her to come out and just have so much confidence and honestly lay down a 226 in October, huge. She didn't even win the Grand Prix final last year. So, and I think Mao Shimada, the junior, had the highest women's score of the season going into World Championships, or very close to it. So for Kaori to be skating like this in October means she is dialed into that third World Championship. And I mean, it's so hard to win. No woman has done it since Sonia Henne, which was like almost 100 years ago. Like, Yuna Kim didn't do it. Evgenia Medvedeva didn't do it. Michelle Kwan didn't do it. Katarina Witt didn't do it. So, you know, you have these queens of figure skating, and none of them were able to win 3 world titles in a row. So if Kaori can come out and do that, it's just going to mean something. It's going to be in the record books. And even if there were no Russian women, there is strong South Korean women. There are many other strong Japanese women. And there are some strong European skaters and American skaters that she's competing with. So it's not like she's just walking away with this. I really, really, really hope she wins the third world title. It's going to be so nice to see someone actually hit that and do it. Next, let's talk about the dance competition. I really, really, really enjoyed the dance competition. I pretty much always enjoy the dance competitions, which is crazy because as a kid, I just dance would be on in the background and I wouldn't really watch it. I would really be into the men and the women and then the pairs because I thought it was a little bit exciting. But over time, I have just continued to fall in love with dance. I think the IJS has improved dance so much, which is weird to say because I don't think the IJS has improved the other disciplines the same way. But I think it's because of all the choreographic elements. It gives the skaters a lot of freedom to do certain things but still earn maximum points. So it's just nice to see. Start with the top six because with three American pairs, 6, 5, and 4. Okay. Peyton Bai had the highest score coming into the competition, but the judges weren't buying it. Pun intended. Well, it wasn't intended, but we'll say it was. They did a pretty good short dance or rhythm dance. They were the third American team out of them, and after the free dance, they were also ranked the third American team. They finished sixth in each segment behind Zingis and Kolesnik. Well, yeah. And then I was... It's weird because they're engaged, and I just don't see that connection on the ice. I would want to see more passion between them, but maybe they'll work on that. They're a fine couple. There's nothing wrong with them. Zingis and Kolesnik, good short program. The long program to Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast. It's one of my favorites. The music is amazing. Their skating is amazing. They have speed, connection, deep edges. Oh man, if they hadn't had a little mistake in the short dance or in the rhythm dance with Amelia's Twizzles, I do think they might have been in fourth place. But okay, in my preview that didn't get uploaded, I said that I thought that Una and Gage Brown should come out and hit over 72 points because they were so close to 72 at Skate America that they could hit that 72-ish mark and have a season's best. And then same in the free dance. I thought they could hit that 112 mark. And so I was really looking at them to kind of hit like 184 or something like that and just improve and maybe be above Peyton Bai but behind Zingis and Kolesnik. But the judges ate it all up. They ate it up, and I love it because Gage is such a good skater. Una too, they just so deep and so connected, and all by myself in the short or in the long, sorry, I just think is such a good move for them. And then I'm Still Standing in the short. I love it. I think they picked great music, great packaging, and these guys are just so good. It's such a shame to know that they are really struggling for funds. They have a GoFundMe up right now, and if you could find it, definitely do. They were camping in Canada just so they could work at the Ice Academy. So like, I think they need all the support. U.S. figure skating should be supporting them more. Like, I think they're like $25,000 was their goal, and it's like if U.S. figure skating can't pull out $25,000 or at least 12 to help a team that was world champions in the juniors and is showing that they are going to be the next generation of American ice dance, something has to give there. That's not a lot of money. I mean, I don't have that much money, but it just doesn't seem like a lot of money to a powerhouse like Skate America or the American Figure Skating Association. Third place, Allison Reed, Silas Amber-Lovicious. They won their Grand Prix medal. They had a pretty good score too, 192 points, which I think the worry for them and the Finnish team is unfortunately what's going on in Georgia with our little Nepo baby, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin. Gleb's an amazing skater, but Diana is not. And to think that they are going to pass the Lithuanians and the Finnish team most likely at Europeans is just a shame. They don't deserve it. I don't think they have as good... I don't love Reed and Amber Lovicious's programs. I don't know. Free dance is a good concept, but if you didn't tell me that's what was going on with the whole connection to electronics and devices and stuff and then break, like, I probably wouldn't get it. I mean, there's a few little signals, but I don't know. I like them. I think they're a strong team. I think Allison has been giving it for forever. Like her and Evan Bates, you know, they've just been on the scene for forever, forever, forever. So I do want to see her get her flowers, but I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite. Fear and Gibson, Lila Fear, Lewis Gibson from Great Britain. I just don't love the Rocky. It's something about it doesn't speak to me. It's kind of cheesy, and I know they're taking away some of the cheesy. I do see that they've worked on their skating skills a lot, which is nice. You see deeper edges, clearer turns, things like that. But this is another one where I'm just not invested in the programs, short or long. So it's hard for me to really love these programs. I think that there are so many other better ones out there. So we'll see. We'll see if they can, push where they were last year, or if they're still going to be 4th, 5th, 6th, kind of in that ranking of teams at Worlds, which is kind of where I see it, because I think Lila just maybe isn't the strongest skater in the world. So it's hard for them to always get all those levels, even though they get the GOE. Lastly, we had Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. I like their programs. I do. I really do. I really, really like the Wuthering Heights free dance. Not as sold on the short dance. I do think that their score for the free dance was really good. There's something about this team that I love them. I think their connection to each other is beautiful. If every pair and couple could have the connection that Piper and Paul have, it would be magic. But they don't. So we look at Piper and Paul and we see their connection, and it's just amazing. But I still think that Chalk and Bates, if you're like taking pictures of the programs and things, just have stronger positions. It's going to be really interesting to see as Piper makes it through the season healthy, how they compete and how they end up at Worlds. I think Worlds being in Montreal is pretty much going to give Gillis and Poirier maybe the advantage. So maybe we'll see them flip this year, or we'll see Gillis and Poirier move up, and maybe the Italians. I don't know. We'll have to see how the season breaks down. Last but not least, we have the men. Not great competition, but I was so happy. Okay, we won't talk about it first. Let's talk about Junhwa Cha first. Very disappointing. I thought after the short program, had a pretty good performance, a little over 86 points. It's not his best, but he was in second place. And he was looking like, he hit the triple axel, so it was looking like he was going to be okay. And then the long program happened. Those falls were so hard. I think after the second one, he looked like he did not want to keep going. It was just a mess after that. He got 130 points in the free, which that's really, 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 really low for a men's competition. I mean, only one person finished below him. I mean, you even had someone like Liam Kapekis and Conrad Orzel and Wesley Chu all do better. So it was a disaster for him. 9th place basically is out of the Grand Prix final. There's no chance. Even if he finishes first, the amount of points, it's not likely that he is going to be someone that we're looking at the final. So he's going to really need to work his butt off, get to 4 continents, prove himself there, and then get to World Championships. I mean, he does have another Grand Prix, so it's not over, but he really, really, really needs to get to it. Maybe go back to Brian Orser. Seemed to be working really well with Brian, so I don't know. I do want to give a shout out to Israel's Mark Gorodinsky. Even though he's not doing any quads, his skating is beautiful. He landed everything, so not in the short, but in the long he did. And he ended up with a pretty respectable outing. Mihail Sharadov from Kazakhstan. Alexei Armanov is turning him into a little mini him. It's interesting because it's kind of like It's kind of like in the men. Well, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to talk about this right now. I'm just going to talk about Mihail Sharadov. He nailed all of his jumps. Like, just jump, 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 jump. Quads, quad combo, triple axel Euler combo. Didn't matter. He was just hitting them. He is starting to build a better connection to the music, which I really like to see. I think he's one of those guys that at a world championships, for example, if a bunch of other top men are missing their elements and there's a bunch of falls, he easily has a chance to squeak in there and win a bronze medal. It's just at Europeans, same. He could be on the podium, no problem. I think that they are really working towards getting him to be a top man come Italy, come Torino. Like, if he is nailing all of these jumps and he can learn some really good artistry from Urmanov, the sky's the limit for this guy. I mean, he could be one of those people that we're not even considering for a medal right now, but actually wins a medal come the Olympics. Poor Kazuki Tomono. These programs this year for him just aren't the business. I'm not, especially the long. I am not feeling that long program for him. I need something fun that lets his exuberance out. He's such an enjoyable skater to watch, but I don't think these are his vehicles. I really don't. I think that he had a pretty good outing here, but the field in Japan is so strong that if you're not winning medals on the Grand Prix, there is a good chance that you are not going to World Championships. It's likely he'll still get 4 continents, even if he, is that 4th, 5th Japanese guy. But I would really love to see him break into that top 3 for it to be Kazuki Tomono, Yuma Kageyama. Oh, I actually do love Shunsato and Kawamura so much, though. So I don't know. Japan is just, whoever makes it, makes it. It's just going to be how that works out. Okay, Matteo Risso. Disastrous short program. Horrible. But he is my favorite skater. Favorite male skater. No one, I just think, I remember before the Olympics, he was on a trajectory, and he was, when he won his first European, I think it was a bronze medal or bronze medal at Europeans, and even come the 2018 Olympics, his components were rising, and you saw them rising, and then after the Olympics, all of a sudden, his components went back down, and it was weird. It was like he was on an upward trajectory, and then all of a sudden the judges were like, no. Actually, we're not buying it. And it was like, nothing's changed. He's gotten better. He is more into the, like, so to see him getting back up there now, the long program, beautiful. I was sitting on the edge of my bed just watching, and every jump, holding my breath, and nailed it. Oh, I mean, he had a little bit of problems in the end, but 171 points in the long, season's best. Got above 245, which I always want to see a guy above 245. That feels like it's putting you into that second echelon, and he got a medal. So for him to come out and win a bronze medal, especially after that disastrous short program, just like Matty Skizis, 8th place, came back, 2nd place in the long. They both just kind of pulled that Evan Lysacek magic out of their hats and were like, hey, we can do really good. I think it's no pressure, It's like, I'm just going to go out there and skate my best. And I think Matteo, coming back from a little bit of an injury, felt like maybe there was some pressure, but I can't wait for Finland. That competition is stacked. There's like 5 guys that all have points that are going to be fighting for a position in the Grand Prix final. I cannot wait for Espo. That is going to be one of my favorite competitions. I'm just going to be holding my breath. Okay, 2nd place and 1st place, separated by 0.63, I think it was, so a little over half a point. Kawamura had not the best short program, but a really good long program, and then Sota Yamamoto had a really good short program, but not the best long program. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. He gave up some points. I really like both of these skaters. There's nothing, okay, well, Cow, actually, I love the Attack on Titan long program. I know a lot of people don't know that it has the same emotion as Beauty and the Beast last year, but I love the Attack on Titan program. I think it's good. I think it fits for him. I do think that it's going to continue to grow over the season, and he's just going to come out and continue to do what Kawamura and Shun Sato, I do believe, are like the next two Japanese men skaters to move up into the field, especially once Shoma Uno kind of moves away, and we'll kind of see what happens with Yuma Kageyama, because coming back from injury, he hasn't necessarily laid it down yet, so we'll see how it all kind of works out in Japan. So in the end, you had Sota Yamamoto in first, Kao Miura in second, and Matteo Rizzo with that bronze medal. Overall, Skate Canada was a kind of up and down competition. Like I said, there were things that stood out in each portion for me. Matteo in that long program in the men's, Una and Gage coming out and improving so much on their Skate America performances. Maddie Skizis just laying it down in the long program, and Kaori Sakamoto just laying it down altogether. And then in the pairs program, just seeing Diana Stellato-Dudek just get those amazing scores and show that she is world class. Those were really my highlights. I hope everyone really enjoyed Skate Canada. Look forward to my next video. I'll do a little predictions and what I think will happen and such on the Grand Prix of France. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about Skate Canada, and if you did, just go ahead and give the video a like. If you really like me talking about figure skating, how about subscribe? Why not? You'll get notifications of when my next videos come out, and I will definitely try to get these out a little bit faster and a little bit sooner. Okay, bye guys.